Today we're talking about where I am now outsourcing my wedding photography image editing. One of the keys to scaling a wedding photography business to 60 weddings or 50 weddings or 40 weddings, there's no intro today, we're just getting right into it. One of the keys is absolutely outsourcing. The company that I'm now using is Photographers Edit. They have been absolutely amazing in the galleries that I have given to them. When images come back, they are completely ready to go, which is not something that I've ever got to experience through any other company. That I've always had to make slight adjustments, and when you make one adjustment, then you're in the catalog and you got to make a few more adjustments, and all of a sudden you're outsourcing, but you're still spending time in the gallery. With Photographers Edit, they work with you to basically learn your style. You can give them, actually, we'll go right here. So to come into Photographers Edit, basically you can set your own custom profile up where you can actually load in your preset, black and white preset, color preset, and some sample images, and they will edit exactly as you do. Or if you're a little more like, well, I don't know exactly what I want my images to look like, you can just select one of these styles. And I would say, quite honestly, I would say on the more light and airy side of things, if they were to just give me a basic edit to this style, I would be incredibly happy, and also my clients would be incredibly happy as well. I'm using Photographers Edit as a full solution. So I come home from the wedding, I actually build a smart preview catalog. So basically you just load all your images into Lightroom as you usually would and click the smart previews button. What this does is it actually embeds a small DNG raw file with the actual catalog. It's like maybe 6, it's big enough for them to edit and to have full flexibility with a full raw image. And then when the gallery comes back to you, it reconnects with your raw files and exports from the high res. I have Photographers Edit make my selections for me, so they actually get everything and they go through and they flag any of the images that I should have. And then when I get the gallery back from them, I just come down here and I click flagged. These are all of the images that they selected, and then they'd go and whatever style you submitted, they will edit all of these images to look like that style. And then at this point, all I have to do is come back here into the gallery, right click, export images. They'll reconnect to the high res files and my editing is done. The entire submission process, from actually building the catalog to uploading to submitting the order, for me takes about maybe 20 to 30 minutes at the end of the wedding day. So that's kind of all of my post-production time. It's just done at that point. I'll walk you through a little bit of an order here. And also, when you're signing up on Photographers Edit, if you use Taylor Jackson as one word, as the person that referred you, you'll get 50% off your first order. So it's really low barrier to entry for that first order. And as I mentioned before, give them feedback. If the edit, your first job, wasn't exactly as you wanted it to be, let them know exactly what it should look like, and they will work with you to get to there. And the same goes for maybe 2-3 years from now. Your styles change a little bit, you can just update it and they just continue editing as you would. So there are 2 ways. Basically, if you are one of the premium members, you can schedule your order, which gives you a faster turnaround. But what we'll talk about right now is what you can do to just kind of get your feet wet and to see if this is for you. I'm going to place a non-scheduled order. So this is exactly how I would be submitting my wedding job. I come down here, so I have them do full cull and custom color correction on it. And I select, maybe we're gonna have 2,590 images. If it's your first time working with them, I would recommend that you make the selections first and send just for color to make sure that you're happy with that layer before you kind of give more control. What I do is I kind of figure out what makes the most sense as far as these percentages go. I typically say 66 to 75%, but sometimes if I very much overshot a wedding, I will do the top one up here. So let's say I didn't quite overshoot the wedding, and I'm happy to have that. So basically it does the math for you here. If I submit this many images, it is going to give me the color corrected versions of 647 to 881, somewhere in that ballpark of images. And you can just kind of change this if that's not to your liking, that maybe, okay, I want a tighter edit because I super overshot it and I only need to give my client 400 images. I'm happy to leave this as high culling percentage, and down here to wedding or event. For sending images, you can send in other ways. I find that just sending a Lightroom catalog with those smart previews built is the easiest way to go about it. So just verify that, in fact, all of your smart previews have been built before submitting. If it is your first job, I do highly recommend getting some sample photos back. It will slow the job down, but it will kind of give you a verification to be like, okay, I like where this is going. Please continue with the rest of the gallery. If you've created a style, you can select it here. I'm just going to select light and airy for this demonstration, and I don't have them do any black and white images, so I don't need to select anything there. Under cropping and straightening, I just have them straighten the horizon so that if you're a follower of the channel, you know that I always shoot at kind of a 1% slant, so they'll do that. No noise reduction, I don't think that that's really necessary. And then everything else I leave as defaults. If you need any retouching, by all means explore that. I personally don't have them do any advanced retouching. I simply do the cull and the color correction, and I'm very happy with those images. Now to share the images with them, you can make a simple Dropbox upload like I've done here. All you do is you zip together the Smart Previews file, so make sure it says Smart Previews, and the catalog, right click, compress to items. If you're on Windows, I'm sure there's a similar way to build a zip file from that. Then you upload it to Dropbox and you put the link in the form here. And then you click this button and you add to cart. If you're noticing the total here, maybe it seems a little bit expensive. Know that I am doing the full color correction and everything. So if you were to make your own selects and all you needed was color correction for 24 cents an image, and you were sending them, let's say 550 files, which I would say is maybe my normal for a 6-hour day. Coming down here, you see that the total is now $132 to have your wedding completely edited. So culling does add a little bit of extra dollars to it, but if you are running a very high volume studio, it definitely 100% makes sense to just have them do everything to just kind of take it completely off your plate. So that is my process for outsourcing with Photographer's Edit. If you want to keep the cost down, make your selects, submit your images. If you are more about just absolute efficiency, uploading everything the night of the wedding, it takes maybe 25 to 30 minutes total, and then you don't have to worry about that again, especially if you're shooting double, triple wedding weekends. To know that your orders are just in production and to not be too stressed out about that. Basically the way it would work, if I'm shooting a regular busy kind of June or maybe September, I am typically working Friday, Saturday, Sunday at a wedding, and then maybe doing one other engagement shoot or maybe 2 engagement shoots throughout the week. And all of a sudden, if you have kind of 6 weddings within 9 days, you have literally no time to edit. So you need to get the system up in place before you actually kind of get into a position like that. So you know that it is in fact the solution to your problem first off, but you also know kind of how to make it the most efficient as well. And it will take you 1 or 2 orders to kind of implement this into your workflow, and maybe it'll take you some back and forth to kind of get your style exactly as you'd want it. Another thing maybe to briefly mention, if you go with their premium membership, it's $99 a year, but I believe that it's waived if you go over $1,000 in total spending with them in a calendar year. You will have a dedicated team that edits your images, and they will have a faster turnaround as well. So if you are interested in kind of getting that faster turnaround and working with a team that works with your images all the time, I would say to go with the premium membership right off the start for $99 to get a faster turnaround time. It's kind of, it absolutely makes sense. So that is all for how I outsource my editing. Hopefully this kind of gave you a little behind the scenes of how easy it is. Yes, it does cost some money. Yes, you do have to give up a little bit of control, but I promise that they're going to be just as good, if not better, at editing final images for you than you would be yourself. And the cost, honestly, when you kind of break it down, the fact that you now have access to all of this extra time that you can market your business, you can run sales, you don't feel burnt out in the summer, it is absolutely something that will make you more money in your business and definitely cover the cost of what you're spending with them, no problem. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and please like this if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you again next time. photographersedit.com/Taylor-Jackson, and it'll take you to a page where I can tell you a little bit more about this, and that's all. That's all for today. Have a lovely day. I'll see you again another time.